This bike is already good, but after riding it hard, I found the weak points. Not things I want, things I actually need. So before installing anything, I want to explain what's changing and why. If you watched my previous off-road mod videos, this build will feel familiar. This is a continuation of that process, looking at what actually needs improvement based on real riding. The CFMOTO 450MT is already a solid adventure bike, but riding it off-road shows where it needs work. Not in horsepower, but in control, ergonomics and protection. I'm planning to upgrade the seat to a rally seat that's 50 mm higher. The main reason is riding position when seated. I want more freedom to move on the bike, especially in corners when you stay seated and need to shift your weight forward. With the stock seat, you sit very deep in the bike, almost like sitting in a pocket. That makes it harder to move around. A flatter and higher seat should make the body movement easier. But there is one question mark. I'm only 73 centimeters tall, so I don't know yet how it will feel when the bike starts to tip over, sitting 50 millimeters higher. The seat is already ordered, so this is one upgrade I will definitely test properly. I have already ordered and received new foot pegs from Raid Garage. They are a lot larger than the stock rally foot pegs from CFMOTO. I will put the exact measurements on the screen. The goal here is simple. Better grip when standing on the bike. With proper off-road boots, platform size really matters. These foot pegs also sit 15 mm lower than stock. That's something I'm not completely sure about yet. But based on the size and position, I think it will work well. I will test them properly once they are installed. And if you are interested, you can get 15% off at Raid Garage using my code ADVNorth15. Last summer, when riding enduro trails, I hit the rear brake pedal on a rock and it bent really badly, and it was almost impossible to keep riding. That experience made one thing very clear. The rear brake pedal needs better protection. This time I'm upgrading the pedal tip itself. It's a CNC machined brake pedal tip, designed with a tapered shape. If you hit a rock or a log, there's a much better chance it will slide off, instead of catching it and bending the pedal. It's a high-end part, probably one of the nicest components on this bike. The pedal tip was sent to me by a viewer, Andrew Wiley. Thank you, that's awesome. I will also include a link to a drawing made by Andy, in case anyone wants to machine one themselves. I'm already running a skid plate from Raid Garage. It's made from 4mm aluminium, so it offers good protection while staying very light. Compared to the stock plate, it adds roughly 1 kilogram to the bike. The downside is that it doesn't protect the linkage, so that's something I want to solve. I'm planning to make my own linkage guard using a very smooth plastic material. The idea is to extend the lip from the skid plate, so it sits underneath the linkage. If I land on a rock or a log, the linkage is protected. And because the plastic material is smooth, the bike should slide off more easily instead of getting stuck. This piece will be bolted on using 4 through bolts. And gluing is not an option. The plastic is simply too slippery. I also want to test 2 plastic strips about 40 mm wide and 3 mm thick, mounted along the bottom of the skid plate. I honestly don't know if this will work well or not, but I think it's worth testing. This will help the bike slide off logs more easily than without these plastic strips. At least that's the plan. Right now I'm running a 𝐀𝐝𝐯 ECU and it works well. The difference is very noticeable once it is installed. One of the main reasons I choose 𝐀𝐝𝐯 is that it keeps the factory warranty intact. And that was an important factor for me. But I have been thinking about testing another option. There's an ECU from 𝐀𝐝𝐯𝐿 in France that seems to completely eliminate the throttle jerkiness. The 𝐀𝐝𝐯 improved that a lot, but it didn't remove it entirely. So I'm very curious to see how the 𝐀𝐝𝐯𝐿 ECU behaves. A close riding buddy of mine have already one, so he will be the crash test dummy first. Shout out to Per. If he's happy with it, I will order one for my own bike and come back with a proper review later on. There's one problem on this bike that I still haven't a good solution for, and that's the exhaust pipe running along the linkage. I've already damaged one exhaust there. I crashed it on a rock. It still worked, but it showed how exposed the area is. Now I'm running a new exhaust and I want to protect it properly. One idea is to fit the metal tube as an outer shield, but I'm exploring the options. So if you have a good idea or you've seen a smart solution, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to test it. So this is the plan. Every upgrade you see in here has a clear purpose. Better control, better protection, and a bike that works when the terrain gets rough. Nothing is installed yet. Over the next 1 to 2 months, I will install these parts one by one and test them properly. No first impressions, only real riding feedback. If you are building your own adventure bike, this series should help you avoid expensive mistakes. Let me know which upgrade you want to see tested first. And if you want to follow the full build, make sure you have subscribed. Ride safe, see you in the next one.